I see a quick question I want to save that we're gonna go into after I give out the code in the chat. As a reminder, we're gonna do similar to last week. We're gonna do a Galactic Conqueror title fight. Try to snag some title cards for you. Flex with your title card for the next week or so, and then the objective today, like last week, is going to be winning the match. So you may feel intrigued by defeating us, but maybe that'll set you behind. Maybe we've got some moves too. Your goal to try and win the title card is to win the match entirely. So good luck to everyone, and then let's start giving out that code. So first up, our first code for the first lobby is going to be 173504. And then as we're setting up, I've got a question from uboot13 in the chat. Was falling from high places, how did you determine doing stamina damage, or was HP damage ever considered?
It was HP damage for a very long time in the game. The game was built a lot on risk versus reward, and the idea that decisions had consequences, and that the better loot was up high, but playing up high had that risk. And getting down from a building even required some good decision making and some good execution, and being able to make sure you could get to a nearby wall to grab it or hit a bounce pad or something, right? So we had that in the game for a long time. But we did get a lot of feedback from friends and family tests that we did, and people just found it, when they were new at the game, to be much too frustrating to be killing themselves that way and burning through their resources that way. And while I do still think HP damage from falling could be cool in like a hardcore mode or a ranked competitive mode for veteran players, I do agree that it's better for new players to be able to just enjoy the movements and the sprawling city and not have to worry too much about it. But we still wanted to have some consequence there if you mess up a jump, especially if there's people around. So we ended up trying stamina damage and a more severe kind of cartoony squash on your character, so you'd be stunned for a little bit, but the damage you would take would not be permanent. It's just stamina. You can get that back pretty fast. So it's really only a problem for you if you happen to land in a crowd, and then you get obliterated and your stamina gets broken and all that stuff. And that allowed us to maintain some of the risk and reward that we liked, without the game being too punishing for new people who really didn't have their hands or brain wrapped around the movie yet.
Cool. Thanks for that explanation. I'm actually sorry, stream moderators. I'm gonna change up the code for the match once more, just because I'm adjusting game volume, so hopefully it's a little easier on everyone's ears. But it's gonna be 511812. Cool. Going ahead and start that match. Good luck to everyone that's playing. Look out for Crazier, IGS Audio, Keyman45, and IGS Keats, because we are gonna try to give you a tough time.
We're gonna stick together, probably. I hope.
Maybe we'll see. You pointed out to me earlier this week, I like going on solo adventures, even
not
though
your strength.
I'm playing a team mode.
Yes. Yeah, I was playing with Tupperware and Keenan the other day, and Keenan was off on his own, many blocks away, like every time we looked for him.
I'm just on my solo adventure, just trying to stock up to be the best teammate I can later on in the match. In the beginning, I could use a little work.
I think someone in the chat asked who was the best player at the studio, and I will tell you it is not the audio guy.
I feel like we all maybe have potentially different opinions on this, but what do you guys think?
Define best player. If it's consistency, it's Nate. Nate is in the top 3 every single game in our internal playtests, like without fail. But there are other really consistent players too. Kieran and Alex are both really consistent and making the top. Ellie is really consistent and making the top. But as far as just like, I don't want to fight you in a one-on-one raw skill, I'm not even sure who I'd name. There are plenty of people like that who I do not want to face in a one-on-one. But I'll go with Nate. His reactions are out of this world. He has the reactions of a 14-year-old who is drinking Mountain Dew all night.
I feel that. I'm gonna say, for me, it's Eric You know, I feel like I might have decent 1v1s against Eric or Dantarian in the chat. But sometimes, like, I feel like I land, and like that's the max I get to do in a match because of how much he could punish me.
He's
Eric has too much fun though. He never
Yes.
wins because all he does is mess with you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very inconsistent player because he will fight you to the death if he sees you.
He doesn't need pods to play, unlike a lot of other people. Sorry, one more change up for the code. I accidentally queued us for duos, and can't do that with 4 people on the team. So we're gonna do room code 704228. Again, 704228.
Am I in the right match, Keenan? Do I need to exit, or are we good?
You're good.
Yeah, you're in.
It was definitely cool to see how quickly the players in the public kind of surpassed us when the game came out. It really only took about a week or 2 before I think the best players were no longer Iron Galaxy people.
I feel like the huge learning.
Real loud, Keenan.
Oh, hello. Test.
Let me pull back from the mic a tiny bit.
Oh, sorry.
There you
I'm
go.
too loud.
There you go.
Apologies. Yeah, I feel like the big learning curve in the beginning, where I feel like players took a huge step up initially, was when folks learned about quick superstar activation. I feel like that was a huge knob that like, was turned for the community. It's like, oh, this is a really nice move, but now I feel like as of recent, that's not necessarily the go-to superstar activation to rely on. It's kind of cool to see that evolution of player knowledge. Yeah, we'll run a handful of lobbies. Remember, it's 11 teams of 4, so
Should be 10, so there's a couple solos or duos in here.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
40
There you
players
go.
max.
Gotcha. Just some smaller teams snuck in.
Yeah, no problem.
So how quickly do they you get stream sniped?
Fast.
All right.
Everyone wants their 15 minutes.
Keyman volume low. How's this? Talking a little bit more, testing a little bit more. Only my voice is low. Well, I'll keep talking and hopefully it levels out a little bit. Anyone looking for anything in particular?
A second special move.
Okay.
I got Cosmo Shot. I'll take whatever.
How about a liberate?
Ramon's taking damage. Are you okay over there, Ramon?
I'm fine.
Michael's taking damage as well.
This is testing our communication skills here.
Oh, a great start.
There you go.
All right.
It attacked and didn't tell us.
I got Mets.
Okay, I'm here. Oh, I didn't go off the edge. Oh, good. Oh, you almost got it.
Thanks for the save. How do you join? So this match already started. I will give out a code, and you're gonna go to the social menu on the homepage or in the main menu, and you'll be putting in that code when we start another match.
Is that Katana Prime attacking you right now?
I think it's what I see.
Unbelievable. Get off the mountain, dude.
Hey, KP, you're a little too inside the ring for what I expect from you. Why are you not on the perimeter?
That's actually him. It could just be somebody stealing his costume.
Okay, Michael. Oh no, I didn't. Messed up by a mile.
I am being guarded by Jimmy Alpha.
Yeah. We're being swarmed. We won't last long here. I'm down 2.
One above and one below, whatever's more ideal, Ramon.
GG!
GG.
Hope you're all proud of yourselves.
11th place. You beat the devs.
Good job.
Everyone.
I just want to hear more answers, that's all.
Yeah. I wanted to pay attention on the chat anyway, so thanks for knocking us out. yeah, you'll see where to input the code. It's gonna say join match in the social menu, and you'll put in that code. Feel free to join as a solo, and you'll be matched up with some teammates. Oh, that's a hilarious bounce. Or try to party up with a friend ahead of time. All competition is invited. The code for this chat already gone out since this match already is underway, but I'll give out the new code as we figure out when the next one starts.
Yeah, we got to see who wins this one to give out the title, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is right around when Iron Galaxy has their own playtest of Rumbleverse, so who knows? Maybe we'll see an IG person or two here.
Some guest stars.
The amount of cool outfits I've seen in the wild since, the full accessory set has been released has been super cool.
The unlocking. Yeah, it's definitely. It's
There
one
you
of those
go,
things
IGST Shepard. This is the person that always takes me out, unsuspecting with the casual outfit, base outfit probably on this account.
It was Katana Prime too. He's in here.
Oh, maybe KP's a solo.
That makes sense, probably.
Let's see. Oh, I see.
He's a known team play hater.
Oh,
Every time I
4-2-4. I see what you're doing, KP.
Every time I play teams with him, he is laughing his ass off and having the time of his life. And then you ask him to play teams together, he's like, "No, I don't like that. I just want to play by myself." I'm like, all right.
I'm seeing a couple pitas. Ooh, nice evasion.
Are you spectating KP now?
Yeah.
I'll try to skip it. Our Chill's in here as well. I've played with them before.
And an execution from Piney Pine.
It won't let me cycle over to KP.
It's a little what's it called? Skippy and like the Video Ninja, but you can use that too.
It's very skippy in the Video Ninja.
Ooh, sharing key bats. I like the teamwork from this team. You made mention of Chill. I'm gonna watch them now.
Alternately, we should go watch Eric and get him stream sniped.
Oh.
So he can endure what we just endured.
I'm seeing a Lego T as well.
Assuming he's still around.
He is.
Oh, okay.
Well, he almost isn't.
He does cheat, so this is true.
I'll try to find him. Lego T is Andrew.
El Perzon is probably Carlo.
Oh.
He's an IG employee, but he's not on the beef team.
Oh. Let's see. Fighting Eric. Dev versus Dev. Team versus team.
Whoa, Eric just supered somebody.
The football throw. Get what you can.
Five teams left. Things getting a little small.
Nice emote there.
Eric just went down.
Oh.
He's back.
Nice crusher catch.
Is he playing solo?
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
No, he's on a team. He's got 4 pods.
All right.
Yeah. He probably queued with backfill.
Yeah.
Ooh, interrupted.
Oh, comboed by Chill.
Alright, where's the teammate with the revive?
It's just a big clumpy crowd. Nice.
Yako revives Eric. Downed again.
Yeah.
Revived again.
Crowd is nasty, man. There's a lot of people right there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going up. They have to now. Eric's going down again. Oh yeah.
Michael, there was a
covering it.
question earlier. Who did the voices for the Swole Goals?
I think it was Michael.
Yeah, that was me. I did that.
That's you?
Yeah.
Does anyone know who first came up with the idea of just Swoggles initially? I think I might have asked this last week and we
yeah.
didn't know. So I'm asking again. I'm going to keep asking every dev
I
stream.
remember somebody on the art team. I think maybe it was Alex Voiles.
So
maybe?
Alex definitely did the model.
Okay. I don't know whose idea it was, but he did the model and he was very proud of it. I know that.
For sure.
As he should be. It's immaculate.
Yeah, Noah's saying Alex, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool,
Yeah, it was
cool.
Alex. I was in some character art meetings, just like looking at future accessories and stuff, but they kept showing the Swoggles in those meetings, and I just assumed they were like for a hat or something. I didn't know that they were going to be like in the environment and talking. So that was a big surprise to me when they did appear in the game.
Mm-hmm. I see a question of who is Skip Legerday actually. The voice actor is Dave Fenoy. If you Google his name, you can see a bunch of other games he's also contributed to. Very well known, very accomplished voice actor.
That was also one cool thing is that in like my past development days and stuff, usually the audio guy doesn't get to contribute much to the fiction side of things, and the Skip Lager Day was I came up with that, and it's one of my finer moments, I think.
Oh, you came up with the name? Right,
yeah.
Right, yeah, we were talking about the other day.
Yeah, Michael came on to the project not right at the beginning, but we were already into it quite a bit. And I think there was, COVID had hit and we were all at home, and we did this IG cooking thing where people could make a video of themselves cooking a recipe, and it would get played at this big company kind of get together virtual meeting thing. And, most of them were videos of people cooking something, but not Michael's. Michael's was extremely well edited, very funny cooking demo.
Clearly the superior one.
Yeah, very clearly the superior
I'm
one.
okay admitting that as someone who made one,
But I think there were talks just from that moment of like, oh yes, maybe he should be contributing to, or maybe even running the fiction group.
Yeah.
I have posted all the funny bits of that on TikTok in case anyone is interested.
Nice.
Oh man, I didn't know you had a TikTok. That's breaking news. I need to put my phone.
Yeah, and then as a reminder, we'll always try to answer the things that we can answer. If there are certain questions you may be asking over and over that we are not answering, chances are we just can't answer that one. Sorry. Mets, what's your favorite sound in Rumbleverse?
Oh man, I really do love the sound of like when you knock someone out, like the bell ding, and that was something that I think I actually created early on, and and I think at first people were kind of like, I don't know if that's it, but then it became such a like, even if you liked it or not, it became such a thing where it's like you heard that, you knew exactly what was happening, and so it was like to even change it, just I think would have been just kind of like weird or whatever. But I just think it's just kind of like a very iconic, and it's a great tell, and you just kind of like really understand what it means when it's happening, and it feels like, you know, cool. I just like knock somebody out. It's awesome.
For sure. Okay, I'm gonna pass that same question to everyone else in the room.
My favorite audio clip is from future stuff we didn't get to finish, unfortunately. So I'll leave that one unanswered.
Okay. How about you, Ramon?
There's this like falling sound effect that sometimes gets stuck and has been the bane of my existence. Yeah, that one.
That's your favorite one.
That's my favorite one. Every time it comes on, I get so excited.
If I were to pick mine, let's see. I think it's just gonna go hand in hand with my favorite special move. It always has been in the game. Hearing the of Cosmo shot, just like traveling up in the air, getting that satisfying kick, and then hopefully like a splat or bounce on the wall. That's been my favorite from the beginning.
What Michael said about the kind of the bell dinging when you KO somebody kind of brings up the point that when you're making games, basically nothing can just be what it is. Everything you do is communication in some way. So that sound effect, he's like, oh, we can't really change it much, if at all, because it is serving this purpose of, it's not just a sound effect, it's also alerting you that you just got a killing blow on somebody, and it's alerting people nearby that somebody was just eliminated, right? So this piece of audio isn't just a fun sound effect. Now it's a critical piece of game communication, and so much of everything that we build in these games, VFX, audio, pieces of the world, are all like critical communication pieces. When you look at a wall and you go, can I climb that? Can I climb around that little bit of the wall that's jutting out? If your answer for that's not accurate, without even trying it, then the wall's not communicating properly. So it can't just be a wall. It has to be telling you a story about whether or not it's climbable and where you can stand and stuff like that. So just a little anecdote there about how challenging it can be to get everything right in a game, because everything has to serve like a dual or a quad purpose sometimes, in terms of being multiple things for multiple parts of the game.
Seen another question it's a fun one to talk about. What were some of the biggest inspirations for this game? Big question.
For me, Mario 64. I remain inspired by that game to this day, and I really liked that it had a lot of risk and reward to its movement, and not a lot of ways to correct mistakes when you mess that stuff up. And a lot of those concepts carry through here into making a game that's really joyful to platform in. And the more skilled you are, the more amazing your movement can look and feel. But if you mess up, you look like an idiot, and there's not much you can do about it. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's it.
Anyone else?
Mines are never going to be as I'm an engineer, so obviously there's all the online stuff we've done in the past, and has affected every decision we've done. But the game that this always brought back memories for me. I love the old school wrestling games, SmackDown, stuff like that, and yeah, between the accessory system and hey, I just want to chokeslam someone. This game definitely did that for me.
For sure. You did highlight an Easter egg that some people may or may not have discovered yet. I think I was talking with a coworker named Noah, who you'll actually meet at the next dev stream. Definitely a fun little Easter egg for the community to find. So for the folks who maybe don't know, make sure you check out uboot13's message. Congratulations! I'm waiting to see the names. Yeah, Frosted Phoenix, previous winner, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is a bunch of ringers right here. These are pro players.
Yeah, I've seen these names before.
Same.
All right, I'm gonna screenshot the name really quick, so we got that for title cards later on.
Yeah, another big inspiration clearly is also arena fighters. Like Power Stone. I've always enjoyed those games, but felt like they didn't reach their potential in terms of the types of depth maybe that they could offer. So they ended up, being fun, but getting old kind of fast, and I've always been curious about whether or not if we got a chance to make an arena type fighter, if we could, you know, attack that in a different way and give it the depth that I at least felt was lacking in some of those older games. And that was a really fun thing to do on this as well.
All right, new code is up. 281363. 281363. Jump in as fast as you can. Everyone has the dog head on my screen. All right, lobby is starting to fill. 281363. All right, we are starting off. If you did not make it into this one, apologies. Hopefully you can make it into the next one. As soon as one match concludes, I'll get that new code and share it to everyone as soon as possible. I'm seeing what are your favorite moves? I'll start since I already mentioned my first one. First is Cosmo Shot, and then my second is gonna be Jagged Edge. I even when we had that iteration before where you could loop a bunch, I've just always loved it from when I feel like I can't like pull off my super. Like it's always like the perfect outplay maneuver for me personally. I'm not feeling the tower, but if you guys want to,
We need to stay together.
yeah.
There's even more pro players in this one than the last one.
Edge and Cosmo, Jagged Edge and Cosmo Shot are my favorites. How about you guys?
I mentioned I really wanted this game to be impactful. It's nothing more impactful than Punchline, so that's it.
Solid Punchline, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from a pure like feedback standpoint of screen shake, audio, VFX, big number pops out, it's got to be Atomic Punchline for me. But from a utility standpoint, I'm a Dolphin Dive enjoyer.
How about you, Mets?
Stick together.
Oh god, I like the bull rush.
Oh yeah, the moo sound at the beginning. That's just terrible. Oh no, I'm in trouble, guys. Yep.
I'm moving towards you. Uh-oh. I got caught with a thrown item. And an uppercut.
Ah!
Jesus.
We gotta get out of here. There's like 4 teams.
I'm following Adam. Oh,
So is the rest of the server.
ooh, nice catch.
Save
I'm
me.
gonna go for Ramon.
Yeah! Friends. Friends again.
You got him?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's almost like I know Adam longer, but Keenan saved me.
I was on the way.
Someone called Stay Together, and then I stayed together.
Good job. We need to get resources.
Yeah.
Alright. Need a move.
Need health
People
too.
are coming.
There's a giant swig. I don't know if that is what you're in the market
Yeah,
for,
I'm
but
gonna swing it at people.
it's something. Thank you.
Oh my golly.
Ooh.
Hit him, Michael.
That way.
Ooh. I'm in a
Uh-oh.
sticky situation.
I just got supered.
Dang it.
I didn't even know that person was down next to me. I just got low blowed.
Same with me. Down.
Oh my golly. No. Okay.
Stuck in a tanker.
Oh, good luck, Keenan.
Keenan, save us.
Ah.
Keenan, save us all.
Gameplay question: Why did we change how elbow drops worked with cars from season 1?
Because it was degenerate and not fun to fight against at all for anyone. It was super terrible. Yeah, that's it.
My
What
favorite
does
one's the cherry
degenerate
bounce
mean?
stuff.
Degenerate means that when you add something to a game and it increases the depth of the decision space, we say it makes the game more deep. That means that it is less clear what the best thing to do is, and a player's personality may shine through because they make a different choice than a different player, or a different situation may result in you having a different set of choices that are optimal. That means the game is deep, if all those questions are true. But if the situation, no matter what it is the best answer is always the same, which is double elbow drop on the car. And if anyone's in an animation, fall down off the car, hit them for 1,000 damage. And if no one's in an animation, hit the car and bounce to safety. That's stupid. Your brain is off. You don't have to think about anything or execute anything. You don't have to make any reasonable choices that never change based on the situation ever. You just do the thing over and over again until you either win or you lose, and you usually win. So that's what I mean when I call something degenerate. Is it's a brain off, way too strong, no thinkums kind of thing. And at least in games that I work on, I will fight very hard against those kinds of things existing. Sometimes they'll sneak through, but we'll nuke them pretty fast.
Hey, Adam.
Yes.
Why don't you like fun?
Fun is a very interesting question, actually. So,
What is fun?
Fun in game design, in my opinion, fun is diametrically opposed to the concept of frustration. If you are having more fun than you are frustrated, you will continue to play and enjoy the game. If you are more frustrated than you are having fun, you will not continue to play the game. You will probably turn it off. Nobody likes being frustrated. And unfortunately, in multiplayer games, very often one player's fun is another player's frustration. So it is very difficult to tune how much, air quotes, fun we allow you to have at the expense of other players' frustration meter. Because if we allow one player to make 30 players' frustration meters go so high that they quit, that's not very good for the game. That's not a very healthy thing. So that's kind of how I look at that, is that at least in a multiplayer game, fun and frustration have to coexist in a way where they actually counterbalance each other.
I'm currently watching IGS Nate holding some very strategic positioning, along with Angus Beef, Light Skin Horse, and IGS E.
I see Nate.
Wait, Nate and Eric are on the same team?
Yeah, I think we got another IG squad in here.
I'm quiet. Oh no. I keep hearing mixed. Hopefully I sound okay.
I think it's because you lean forward a lot when you play.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you get a lot louder as you lean into the monitor, and then our stream producer adjusts it for that, and then you lean back when we die, and then be quiet again.
Oopsies. I'll try to be conscious of that.
It's tough.
Yeah, and I guess I see some people in the chat doing it already. If you're looking for a teammate, maybe use the chat to party up.
Yeah, I know when we made some of the changes in like season 1.5, we saw some players get frustrated that their favorite technique, the thing that was giving them the most fun, was something that got nerfed or got hit. And it's because it was causing too much frustration for the opponents that it had to go. So, you know, when we call those techniques degenerate, it's not a dig at you. It's a dig at the fact that those kind of techniques are really not healthy for the game, and they really have to go. So we ask that you, you know, if you're along on the ride with us as we balance games, that you are willing to adapt and roll with the punches, that sometimes the things you find and really enjoy are just going to cross the line. And it's really not up to you what crosses the line. It's kind of up to the dev team. So you just gotta be ready for it.
Seeing the Pitas again, probably trying to get that redemption.
Tuba wears solo.
You solo. Oh, I see.
Oh my God, Nate!
Rocking the
It just
4-4-2. I
exploded.
like it. Oh boy. Nice choke slam.
Is that Utah you're watching right there?
I am watching Utah. Just got choke slammed off the sky.
Every pro player alive in this lobby right now? What's going on? I'm looking forward to the Big Grapple Invitational tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
I've been very anxious to see how players will behave with the new scoring rules and with the, you know, the new final ring rules and stuff for a while, because, you know, we had some of those changes ready before
I
the
predict
3.6
that
version even came out. So
yeah, I predict that there's gonna be like a lot of different kinds of builds tomorrow too, just because of how I've seen the game, or how players have succeeded, and how there's a bunch of different ways to succeed. I'd say more now than there were before.
right.
So it's going to be exciting to see, I guess, if anything comes out on top, or if there's just like a nice variety throughout.
Yeah, I think trying to get that one win, it's just so many points. It's going to be hard to catch up to you in theory. But then you see people who are going to be getting like 4th, 5th, 6th, but doing really good damage out there as they do it. And if they're consistent, they'll catch up in points. If the player who gets first that one time isn't consistent, it's going to be really interesting. Would have been cool to have more time to kind of tweak that formula and get it exactly right. But I'm very, very much looking forward to its kind of inaugural run tomorrow.
Yeah. Seeing a question: who chose the name of the streets, and can you tell me a small behind the scenes story of how it came, or how we chose those streets and shops and stuff? So we actually have another future stream planned out to discuss that a little bit more. So we'll save a little bit, but I guess, is there anyone that maybe wants to point it out to one street in particular, just so we're not leaving this completely unanswered?
I think Pile Drive was the first one we came up with.
Yeah, I wanted Jabroni Drive, right?
Jabroni Drive, yeah.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is that, like, that type of fun came even before we ever did anything in this game. I think that was a part of the some of the pitch videos we made,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Adam, with Dave as an announcer.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very likely that Adam Boys or somebody who was working on that deck, I think it was him, probably just came up with that stuff for the deck. Or there was actually a small art project for like a little pitch video as well. So I think Lars and a couple of the other modelers and animators did that. Maybe one of them came up with it as they were building out that little, video slice. But it's kind of always been embedded in the idea of the game that it was going to be this, colorful, humorous thing, and that it was not going to be like a simulator or, a serious game. It was going to be a game where really, really weird, wild, dumb stuff happens all the time, and we celebrate that instead of shunning it. I think naturally, punny names fit in with that pretty well.
I think in the early development too, a lot of that, like you said, was just kind of done off the fly, and then later on in development, then we kind of did have a whole team, like a fiction team, that was circled around coming up with all those names, and then kind of like going through like a voting and vetting process to figure out what we thought was the best.
Yeah, we also have an ideas channel for our entire development team. So even if you're not on a specific sub team like the fiction team, anyone could drop into that channel and type up their ideas anytime. And it's surprising how much of that stuff actually made it into the game.
There's a whole city to fill.
A
lot of rolling hills.
I feel very spoiled, like just a little, I guess, backstory to my experience at Iron Galaxy. This is Iron Galaxy is the first development studio I've ever worked at.
Me too.
In game dev. And there you go. And maybe that's a testament. How long have you worked at IG, Adam?
11 years.
11 years. Maybe month 2 or 3 at working at Iron Galaxy. And granted, I think you all understand my job a little bit. I'm the community manager, so I work and listen with you all. But on month 2 or 3, I was starting to have conversations with like the animation team of like potential like ideas and different stuff I could have, because like my side hobby is that I'm a dancer, And the fact that the animation team and just the whole Rumbleverse development team as a whole were open to like my thoughts and ideas, you know, that's not necessarily like a traditional thing from my understanding at, you know, a lot of game dev studios. So I feel very spoiled that I get to work at Iron Galaxy, and the fact that, you know, everyone's so collaborative, and I think you can very much see that in like the work of this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think in my past experience, that's been as well, like where it's like, you know, it's like stick to your own, whatever, you know, your job is, and don't break out of that. And like working on this game was like a total different experience where everyone was allowed to like make a suggestion and people would take it seriously. And I think for the better, like you can see that if, you know, people have great ideas. I mean, everyone on the team is so talented in multi, you know, different ways. So it's so cool that everyone, you know, got to contribute in not just their respective career or jobs, but also in, you know, other ways that they might not have even expected.
Yeah, we've never really had a stay in your lane type of, you know, attitude here at IG. You know, I've been here a long time, but every single project I've worked on here has always been this collaborative, and we talk to everybody from every discipline about everything that they're interested in talking about, because, you know, great ideas can come from anyone at any time.
For sure.
You know, even on Killer Instinct, I had, you know, hour-long conversations with the QA crew like every day about design and balance, because who plays the game more than them?
Right.
I definitely want their input.
Mm-hmm. Who made the story behind Skip losing his cat and losing his sunglasses at the beach? Was that Jordan?
I think it was Jordan. Yeah, I think the cat for sure was. But again, that's also a good one for the next. Noah will probably be someone to ask about that as well. He did a lot of the fiction work.
Yeah.
Nate's team is still in.
Yeah, the solo just got knocked out. And it looks like Nate's team lost a person.
Oh, you guys better start climbing. This is serious.
Coming soon. It looks like everyone's running a lot of reds and greens.
Oh, Angus beef is toast. 2 seconds left. Didn't start climbing in time. Yeah, you're done.
Oh, is Nate done?
Oh!
See him trying to get out.
Of here.
Oh, no, he's there.
Nate's good.
Nate,
Nate, light skin horse.
There goes Angus. Oh my god.
Conviction. Uh-oh.
So many people just got bodied.
3 teams left. I'm trying to see. Okay, there's for sure 1 solo.
Whoa.
2 solos, actually. 2 solos in a team? Okay. We'll see who wins this out.
And just because he's in this chat, I know how much he loves this feature. Nate got to work on this feature. The ring move.
The moving rings, yeah.
Moving ring, yeah.
I guess that's a fun conversation topic. How did we land on trying to evolve, I guess, the final ring?
Well, we knew that things were stalling in the final ring from all the data we have, but also just from watching, you know, high rank and competitive lobbies when our users would host them kind of on their own private streams. So we knew that those were dragging and stalling quite a bit, and that the things we had done that we thought would keep them moving were not really working. So, you know, we made a list of all the things we could try, and then also tried to figure out how much time each of those things on that list would take, and figured out how much time we had to actually take a swing at this, and then decided what we wanted to do. And the things we did were, you know, hey, let's make it so that super meter isn't built from taking damage later in the match. That was something that I believe Julia did for us, and really improved the pace of the match, like dramatically. But it wasn't enough. So then the next thing on the list was, hey, let's try the moving ring and see if we can do that. And this one was a much harder thing to accomplish than the other.
This ring is fun.
Yeah.
Skyrocket? Oh. GG, and it didn't even go to the water.
Nice.
Team PETA almost got it again, for sure. Alright, let's see who made it out on top, though.
A trio.
A trio. Interesting. Are you guys good to play one more?
I can do one more.
Okay, cool. I've seen a handful of questions about what were plans of season 3. If there's a future down the line, we're gonna save that news for when that arrives. Cool.
Cool.
Alrighty. Last invite code for today: 601-116. 601-116.
Looking forward to getting last place again. How about you guys?
I'm feeling second to last place.
This time we should stick together, guys.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
No.
Maybe if you get attacked, say, I'm being attacked, help. That would be a good thing to do. I do love this game very much. I'm going to miss it very dearly.
Same.
There's really nothing that will fill the void for me. There's nothing that plays like this. So, I don't know. I think I'll just take a nap for a year.
Yeah. Was the visibility goal of the character design simultaneous with the world design, or did one happen to reflect the other? I feel like we'll probably talk about that in future streams, but any thoughts there?
We mean like legibility by visibility? Not sure what we mean by the question.
I feel like the question's asking like, were they thought about like hand in hand, or did one come
For sure,
first,
yeah.
and then how did the others react to that?
We do a lot of the planning before we build anything on paper, right? So there's concept artists. Shout out to Samurai Cop and his team. You know, they're drawing what the characters could look like, and right next to that, they're drawing what the world would look like, and they're superimposing them on top of each other, so you can see it all together. And the art team goes through countless iterations to figure out, you know, exactly from starting with a mood board all the way to this is it. This is the art style of the game. This is the art style of the world. This is the art style of the characters. You know, this is the kind of mood we want for the HUD and the UI. Like, they get all that stuff on paper really before we start building. And of course, we iterate after we start building as well. So nothing we write is final, but a ton of work goes into getting up to even that moment. So I would say they were developed together.
Cool. Interesting sound question. Are sounds based off of camera position? The example listed was, I guess, the character's head.
It's actually a combination of it's between the character's head and the camera. You find like that to be kind of like the best spot. Sorry, my cat is freaking out in the background. That's kind of like the best spot in terms of like how it feels when you're like fighting someone, because if it was on your head, it gets too weird if like someone's like right next to you. So you kind of need to know like both positional data and also but have it seem somewhat realistic, right? So we found like that was like the best compromise.
I think this code may or may not be a bus because
I think it's a bus.
Sorry,
Maybe
everyone.
the barge,
We're gonna cancel this one and try once more. Seven 770-066. 770-066.
The process of iteration in game dev is pretty interesting, but pretty hidden from people out in the wild generally. You know, they see where we landed, but they don't see how we got there. So like with Michael talking about how the audio is handled, you know, is that positionally based on the player or the camera? And the answer is kind of both. You know, there were lots of versions where we got that wrong, and there's no way of knowing it was going to feel wrong. Like Michael implemented something that he thought would work, and we all thought it would work, and then we get in the game and it mostly works, and then you find these weird situations where you're like behind the corner of something, but you're still in line of sight to somebody, but the camera kind of isn't, and then the sound is muffled, and you're like, well, that just takes me out of it. That feels so weird. And there are all these edge cases you can just never really plan for or think of up front when you put your initial solutions down. And the iteration process of figuring out what all those edge cases are and how we can adapt to those problems is one of the most fun things about making games, for sure. And I wish that was something that was kind of a little bit more transparent for folks out in the wild, so they understood kind of how these are built more.
Yep.
And some of those cases like that are just almost impossible to cover. For like, there's just no way. And like again, you end up just having to compromise and figure out what's the best solution, and also maybe what's the best solution currently. Which, if you have like longer development times or whatever, you might come up with some better things or be able to spend more time on finessing it. But sometimes you're like, this is what works best for what we have time of, and the amount of people and money and all that stuff. So
it's not the best solution. It's the best solution we can afford in this time limit, so we can move to the next thing and actually make the game.
That and accidental stuff.
And what?
Accidental stuff. Like
accidental stuff.
Trampoline, stuff like that.
Oh, right. We'll definitely remind me in the next one. We'll talk about the trampoline stuff, Keenan.
Sure.
Wish I had old footage of the old version of that. Dash bug.
How was the meat sweats first implemented and why?
We were playtesting the game, and every time somebody found a piece of chicken on the ground, they ate it. No matter what. They got full health, they eat it. Why? Most common answer, survey says, don't want anyone else to eat it.
Yep.
Right.
And it didn't matter how much we turned up the values of how much chicken would drop in the game. People couldn't find it. It wasn't enough. So we had to do something to make people stop eating all the chicken that they found. And the solution we decided to try was meat sweats, where it's a joke, but also, hey, if you overeat, you're going to take a penalty, and you're not going to want to do that. And the penalty isn't even that harsh, but it's harsh enough that it worked. People stop eating all the chicken. And some people still will take their time to throw it in the water if they're near the water, but most people, if their pockets are full, they just move on. And, if even one thing like that is going wrong, if people decide we're going to eat all the chicken, no matter what, that means you can't balance the loot in the game at all, because you can't get any of it right because you have to keep compensating for this one problem. And that was where we were for a while. The loot never felt right. What you could find was not right. You couldn't find enough special moves, you couldn't find enough this, you couldn't find enough that. And it was all because we had to keep pumping up the amount of food because everyone kept eating all of it. So that problem really cascaded. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, I think so. Were there any notable mechanics or moves that we tried, but we just couldn't get it to work, and we decided it just wasn't for the game?
For sure. We'll talk about a little bit of that on the next stream as well.
Gotcha.
We'll talk about pinning, and we'll talk about the Frankensteiner or the Hurricane Rana.
Cool.
So remind me about those, Keenan. We'll talk about those next time.
Definitely.
Pinning's so fun. Are you gonna talk about the perk stuff, Adam, next time?
Yeah, we can talk about that next time too. Remind me on that one too, Keenan. Talk about the old perk system. This is another thing that was wrong with the loot as well. You could just eat magazines to get perks. So there were no magazines either. Everyone just wanted.
Oh yeah, we showed one of those screens in the UI UX stream last week, and I didn't know that was a thing.
The animation was super funny. You actually balled up and ate the magazine.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I hope someone has video of that. I'd love to see that.
But yeah, also you need to understand that was a very different perk system back then. You were intended to get 10, 20, 30, 40 perks in a game, and they stacked, but they were much weaker. So you'd get 5 stacks of nimble would be the nimble today, which is the 50% off your dodging. But only 1 stack of nimble would just be 10%. So you were eating lots of magazines and getting tons and tons of perks. But it was a problematic system because of the loot problems, obviously, but also with all those perks on the top of your screen, it was hard to even tell what you had or how to use it, or what benefit you were even getting. So that went through a lot of revisions. We were also, struggling with trying to give people incentive to fight. So those things kind of came together to become one new thing.
All All right, so this is definitely the longest we've lived, right?
Yes. Does anyone want Vicious Mist? I have an extra.
I'm good with what I have. I have super kick and giant swing for context.
Right, tossing my
you-
Vicious Mist.
yeah.
I could use. I don't know what I could use. Maybe another weapon, but I'm good. We could fight.
Hey, we're not last.
Hey.
Sweet.
I would love 2 green pods.
I found one right here.
I am
Bringing it
looking
to you.
for Coming.
I'll bring it to you. Oh, hello. Right here.
Thanks.
Oh, we got company.
Do you
The
need
punch
chicken,
line.
Ramon?
I have one.
Okay.
Where'd they go? Keenan's fighting somebody. I'll alert you because he won't.
I just knew you were around the corner.
You don't know me. Get him, get him, get him. I have no damage potential.
Oopsies.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, help, help. Thank you. Oh my god.
Oh.
It was whack. We're just fighting in the cola over here.
I'm gonna
Ramon,
fight me!
Ramon, you need food?
Sure.
I have some.
Oh,
It's a Keenan imposter over here.
I know.
Down.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Orlando special. Jeez. This will be the last
Whoa.
round. But if you are playing Rumbleverse tonight, maybe we'll run into you in some public lobbies.
Nice.
Nice.
Get that. I'm fighting the Keenan imposter. Oh god, I'm being punchlined and I'm almost dead.
Oops. Oh, big punchline.
Ring's going up, guys. Climb.
Oop, I'm down outside the ring.
Oh boy.
No one's guarding me though. Thank you.
I gotta get in the ring. I got no time. I'm sorry. I can't come to get you.
I'm good.
I got him up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, we need to regroup. You guys up top? I'll come up there.
I like high ground. Good call.
Yes, me
Green
too.
pot there. People above
Oh.
us.
Thanks.
Bonk. Nice shot, Michael.
I kind of want to loot. Oh, there's someone up here.
Get him. Make them wish they weren't born.
Nice dodges.
Alright, they're out of here. Don't chase. Hogan's up here. Oh! What the hell?
Oh!
Dang it, I'm gonna be down
I-
here.
Uh-oh.
I'm down.
in need of assistance. Someone grab the smelling salts.
Got it.
For this team yet.
Nate's trying to kill me. I don't like it. Oh, no!
Oh!
Oh my golly. Down.
He's just got brain busted by Orlando's.
Both down here.
Down together.
I'm toast. He's got me. I'm down.
Friends.
We're all next to each other.
Well, I guess that's that. We did better.
7.
Yeah. Progress.
Progress.
Improvement. We're just trying to keep up with y'all. Take another look over at the chat. Nope, I was away from the mic, sorry.
Yeah, I saw a comment about how cool the perk system and stuff. That's all Adam. He very much wanted a roguelike element to this, and that was the perk system.
Yeah, I kind of firmly believe that battle royales are roguelikes to begin with anyway. So they're just competitive roguelikes. So getting more of those types of systems in where you get those crazy synergies that occasionally make you feel like a god, or having those rounds where your build's not coming together, I think are really interesting points of, I guess, drama, for lack of a better word, for players. You can feel really incredible when your build is perfect, and then you can still lose the game. So you could go from that high to that low, or you could be down in the dumps because your build didn't come together and it's all going wrong, and then you still win. You get that miracle win, and then nothing feels better because you go from that really low suddenly to that high. And it's those different values. Like, you can only feel as good as you can feel bad, basically. You know, like if you could never feel that bad, you could probably never feel that good in a game. So making it have both the high highs and the low lows is what allows the high highs to even exist, I think.
Makes sense. Especially with like if I have like my comfort set of moves, but I feel like I keep losing with them one day, but then I do I only find my uncomfortable move, but then I get the W on that. It's like the toss up. You never really know.
It's like the water, right? The water instant kills you and it ratchets up the tension. But it's because it instant kills you that it feels so good to throw people into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't feel so good to throw people into the water and so satisfying if you didn't get that instant elimination. It would just be like every other hit, and it would kind of take away the positional value and positional tension from the map. Oh god, Orlando's is going to space.
Go for it, Mets.
I just saw someone in the comments about they're asking about the actual player voiceovers, and those were all professional voice actors. We had like 6 different people that we used Blind Light as well, and it was in LA. And you know, they kind of like, there's like some cartoony parts of it where they scream kind of crazy when they're falling and stuff, but then also it's very traditional, just standard grunts and exerts and stuff like that, with you know, kind of trying to make just a balance of making it feel you know, like you are actual doing jumping exerts and falling and stuff like that, but also making it a little bit fun and cartoony to add a little bit of humor in there.
Yeah. I feel like hearing each different body type's like falling voice is probably one of my favorite things in the game, because especially if you hear it from the distance, and then how each body type has their own like little performance with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a fun career question. Do you need to be very good in art or drawing to be able to work in a game company? That is potentially one way to work at a game company, but no, there are a bunch of different departments and positions that all contribute to making a successful video game company.
There's a term that gets thrown around in game dev called programmer art, which I know a lot of programmers who are very good artists, so not necessarily always true, but generally you'll see when an engineer makes a new feature for the game and there's no supporting art, they'll just stub something in really fast. And it is not beautiful. We'll call that programmer art, but there are definitely tons of disciplines in game dev where if you're not good at art, that you can still be a wonderful contributor. I'm not great at art myself. 3 teams left. We're getting down to it. I see Eric's still alive.
Along with Nate.
Yep, Nate's still alive.
I like that little hiding spot. Ishibed.
I'm biased. I'm rooting for Eric and Nate.
I just want a good show.
I would never root for them if I was playing against them. But now that I'm out, I'm rooting for them. Ooh, got away with it.
Yeah, burping waffle in the chat put some really cool commentary on like the career situation. I'm sure a lot of fun stories of how folks have gotten into the game industry. My last job before I worked at Iron Galaxy, I worked at GameStop. So there are a bunch of different histories and backgrounds. But I know one determining factor that definitely helps everyone for breaking in would be, you know, passion, and then also you putting in the time and effort to try to figure out what your passion area is that you want to apply yourself in games.
Yeah. There's a lot of good programs at schools now that you can go to learn about this stuff. Stuff really wasn't around when I was at the college age. But even better, there are really great game making tools, professional stuff, Unreal, Unity. You can get them for free and you can make a game now. And there are, you know, hours and hours and hours of tutorials online for free. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's going to be intimidating when you open it up, but just follow one of those tutorials. You find a 5-hour video that says my first game in Unreal, and it'll walk you through making everything for a sample game in Unreal, and, you know, take your time with it and just build something. And then you'll know by the end of that if you even like making games. Mm-hmm. And if you do, from there, you can start to figure out what aspects of them you like the best. You can either take that project you started for a tutorial and maybe turn it into something real and see what it's like to finish a game, because I can tell you finishing making a game is much harder than starting one. Much harder. Or maybe you'll just use that experience to even figure out, you know, hey, I like doing animation. Maybe that's what I want to study, and maybe your next path is to, you know, get Blender or Maya and do some tutorials for that and start to focus on the things you enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another, I guess, unspoken part we haven't even talked about, like, one huge part of Iron Galaxy that I'm so happy that I get to work with is we've got folks, nice dodge there, on the operations side of our team, where, you know, you've got IT, HR, recruiting. They all contribute to the bigger whole of, you know, who Iron Galaxy is as a company. So there's a bunch of different entryways into games, and if anything, I think a good start maybe would just be looking at like maybe Iron Galaxy's website and checking out all the open positions, and you know, see what maybe is intriguing to you, and to do some research about those individual positions.
We had a solo win.
Yeah, GG. Not Keenan, but not Keenan. Ichibed, congrats. We'll get your name down. But really quick, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by the stream. We appreciate your time, attention, and obviously your love for the game with us. I do want to do one quick last shout out before we head out. As mentioned earlier from Adam, tomorrow Tupperware is hosting the Big Grapple. It's a competitive invitational where a lot of top dogs in the Rumbleverse community are all competing for a huge, nice little cash prize. So if you get a chance, stop by Tubbleware's stream tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time. Check out @Tubbleware on Twitter for more information if you'd like, and hang out with the community. It's going to be a good time tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
Hey, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
This has been a presentation of the Action Broadcasting Service.